Hello guys, this is LC Media. So today I'll be sharing with you on how to create these title effects you've seen previously in the beginning of the video. So you have to have a very good clip and a background music. Those are the ones I've downloaded from Envato Elements. You have to subscribe. But then you have hundreds of millions of stock videos, background music, and all sorts of templates and everything. It's worth it. So firstly, you have to create a basic text. So the shortcut is to press Ctrl and T and then choose whichever font. This one I just choose the default one and change the wordings you want. Like this one I just put rush, but it doesn't make sense, but it's kind of cool. After that, cut it into two halves and then go to the first half and cut out one frame. You can do it like this and then copy and paste the frame couple of times and you press V to unsee them, so it's disabled and it looks something like this. So that concludes the first very glitch titles effect that is very easy to achieve, very simple. And the second one is a little bit more complex, so you have to press Option and drag the clip upwards, and then you have to create a few markers by pressing M. So these markers are just indicated to show you where you want the titles to move. And go to the inspector and find crop and type 680 or whichever value you want. And then you see that when you disable the bottom clip, the upper clip is being slashed into half. So for the bottom clip is similar, but then you have to go to bottom and type 1480. Why is that so? Because my resolution is the standard 4K resolution, which is 3840 times 2160. So this is just simple math. And then you re-enable both clips and then go to one of the clips and select a keyframe at the beginning or whichever part you want from the video and change the x-axis of the transformation position. You can't just simply drag or just pull it up, so you can just go frame by frame or just go to all your markers to change the position of the upper portion of this title. So basically do whatever you want to do with them, but you have to make sure it comes back and align with the bottom one or not. It depends actually. And then repeat the stats for the bottom half, and you can always go back and see whichever portion of the wording is going. Like the upper half is going right, you can choose to go right as well or go left. Sometimes it's very difficult to actually see the results. The only way is to keep trying. Like this, I'm satisfied with this result and that's all I need to do. So that's the second glitchy effect. And then the third one is kind of similar to the second one. So before you go to the end, just copy a couple of times of the first glitchy effect, the stopping frames. So it has a smooth transition to the next glitchy titles effect. It's sort of similar to the previous one, but then now in this case, you use left of the crop instead of bottom and up. So just to make it nicer looking, you just type 1090 or whatever value that you want, and it actually depends on your resolution as well. So for this case, it doesn't really have a very clear number, but all these numbers are just to make sure that the titles are slashed into halves very clean and precise. And then re-enable both clips. Similarly, create a keyframe, whichever the starting, the middle, or wherever position you want. And now you change the y-axis instead of x-axis because you want the words to move up and down like this one. So just change the position of the words according to your preference and repeat those steps on the second half of the titles. And yeah, remember to create keyframes and do not change the x-axis for this case. Just change the y-axis and that's all you need to do. And make sure you realign both parts of this title back to the same level at the end of the clip so it looks nice and clean and sharp. Here comes the secret recipe, or not actually, it's just a very common fact, but then I like to use it a lot. And just go to the effects column, type prism, drag it onto both of the titles. And if you want to create an even more glitchy effect, you can always go for the bad TV effect. And then you can see that the words are being more glitchy now. But then it's not satisfying, so I'm gonna change the amount for prism. I'm gonna change the TV statics to the bad TV effects. So I have to change the amount for both halves of this title to make sure it's consistent. And then I'm gonna change the angle of prism, so this one looks nicer. And since the word is like disappearing, so I have to change the crop again to make sure the S is fully shown and not showing the U beside S. So you have to change very precise and change very minimal for this effect to look very good. And that's the third glitchy effect. So the fourth one is very simple. So you go back to the copy pasted stop frames, drag it upwards to create a duplicate, and then disable the upper clip, go to the bottom half, and you can see that it's similar to the previous steps. You just play with the crop again to show two halves of this rush. Yeah, you have to make sure that both are clean and only showing two alphabets, SH and RU. And then drag the upper clip away from the beginning of the copy pasted one and drag it into middle like this without much effort, and it looks just amazing. And then if you want to make it a very fancy one, you can always add in the actual glitch effects from whichever plugins you use. For example, mine is from the Cinepunch plugin. It's a very big element pack. So once you purchase Cinepunch, you're gonna have over 10,000 elements, and this glitch effect is just a very small portion of it. And you can see there are a lot of variations of glitch effects, and you can choose whichever glitch effects you want. And then if you want it to be only showing like a TV kind of glitch effect, a portion of the actual image, you can always drag a draw mask or a shape mask. For simplicity, I'm just gonna use a shape mask and lower down the fill opacity, and then max out the fall off, and then I think it looks pretty good. But then if you don't want to have this kind of effect, you can always end your titles by sliding it out of the frame. Just create a keyframe at the start of the ending part of the title, and then go to the middle and then drag it away from the middle of the picture like this. Just remember, you can change both X and Y axis, but you have to make it look natural. And that's all you need to do. And that's the end of the video today. Hope you guys enjoy it, and please subscribe. Thank you, bye bye.